Now, you highlight your bucket list travels in the book. Traveler 24 wants to know more about your Istanbul trip.
The Istanbul trip, that was to go to
did
Turkey.
A victory swim.
I did. That's the swim to go to swim across the Dardanelles, you see, because the Dardanelles is a big current of ocean that runs like a river from the Black Sea down to the Mediterranean. And on the one side is Europe, and on the other side is Asia. So you can, if you swim across it, it's about 7 kilometers.
Yeah. How long does that take?
Well, it depends on how fast you can swim.
How long did it take you?
So if you're holding onto a cushion and floating and sort of kicking behind you, it can take a little bit longer than if, you know. So I don't know how long a real swimmer would be able to do it. I'm sort of tying empty milk bottles to my arms and kind of, as a flotation device. So that's the place where you go, and it's quite close to Troy, the ancient city of Troy, so it's quite exciting and historic. The problem is they only can close it down one day a year for everybody to swim across, because it's the busiest shipping lane in the world. So you surround it. It's like a school gala again. You're surrounded by thousands of mainly Australians, sort of with paint on their arms and like caps, and they're swimming across. And there's nothing worse than being in a space, enclosed or otherwise, with a whole lot of Australians. And Australians in Speedos, it's not where you want to be. So that was a little bit of a disillusionment to me, because Lord Byron had swum the Dardanelles, you see, the poet, the romantic poet, and that's what gave me the idea of doing it, because Lord Byron was a shrimpy, romantic, with a limp. He had a bad leg. So I thought if he could do it, I could do it. But it was different in those days. He could take all the time he liked, and he had a guy in a rowboat next to him throwing him wine.
That sounds like the way to do it.
It was me and a lot of Australians.
Well, you still did it.
Well, I see you didn't read to the end.
No, I didn't. Now, tell me what bucket list adventures you haven't checked yet.
I haven't. I drew up a list. I have been drawing up all my life a list of, I think it's about 76 or 81 of them now, things that I want to do before I die. And so swimming across the Dardanelles was one of them. So I've crossed that one off. And so it means I have another either 75 or 80 to go. And there's weird ones. So every time I encounter something that I think, that's something I'd really like to do, I write it down, and I just never get to cross it off. One of them is in Romania, in rural Romania, on the hills of hillside of one of the Carpathian Mountains, is the ruins of the castle of Vlad the Impaler, right? Who is the original guy who was Dracula, the guy who Dracula's base. And you can go and walk up, sort of climb. I don't know why I'm doing that.
Is that walking?
It's not really the outside. You can walk up the mountainside and sleep in the ruins of Dracula's castle overnight, right? And
that sounds scary.
Yeah, well, it's probably just like a little sleeping, it's like sleeping in the ruins. But to be able to have slept in Dracula's castle. So that's one of the things that I'd like to do. It's just, it's quite Romania. It's quite hard, far to go, and then you have to drive quite a ways, and there's not much to do. But like one day, that's going to probably be the next thing I do. Yeah.